have to ask for it.
It doesn't count, does
beg.
it? I often have to beg. Hello, welcome to Talk of the Terrace. Hope you've had a fantastic bank holiday weekend. The sun's
happy
been
Easter.
out. Happy Easter, indeed. You had a good one, Kel.
Really good weekend,
What'd you get up to?
Really enjoyed it.
But actually,
well,
don't care what you've done, don't care what you've done. Don't care about Easter, yeah? Don't care about all these preparations for the royal wedding, all this heat wave everyone's banging on about. The only thing, in my eyes, that happened this weekend was at a rain-soaked Stamford Bridge, about 7 minutes past 7. Everyone's favourite freckly-faced Spaniard against all the odds and a slightly fragile defence. Sorry, Nat, I'm the West Ham fan. With one sweet strike of his left foot. Yes! Wanged in his first goal for Chelsea and finally silenced all those doubters!
Yes! Oh, there's two of you! There's two of you to get behind him.
Yeah, great.
And also, nice choice of a really English hymn for the Spanish striker.
At ESPN TOTT if you want to get in touch on Twitter or facebook.com/ESPN TV UK. And because Torres broke his duck in your face, we want to know what other football moments were worth the wait. For example, that Olympic Stadium in the Premier League next... awkward.
And this show, obviously. Also, remember, we remember today Alan Partridge's son's named Fernando, so eat that. No doubt our friends of the stars. Richard Lenton has been sunning himself on P. Diddy's yacht or something like that this bank holiday, but he did have time to catch up with one of England's Ashes winners, Graham Swan. We'll be seeing that in a bit. And behind me is a real multitasker. He's going to be playing us out later on with his brand new single. Plus, he's joining us on the sofa. He's the very talented Mr. Alistair Griffin.
Also joining us tonight, former QPR, Forest, Southampton, Portsmouth, West Brom, West Ham, Birmingham, Wolves, MK Dons and Scotland midfielder, Nigel Quasi.
Alongside him is England's first ever world amateur boxing champion, who hates flying but is currently undefeated as a professional fighter, so I'm not even going to mention it, Frankie Gavin.
I do like a nice relaxed start to the show. I feel very chilled out.
So, where were you guys when Fernando scored? Nigel, do you remember what you were doing?
Yeah.
7 minutes past 7. 23rd of April, 2011. It's a momentous moment for all football fans.
No, I was indoors with a few friends and I was watching it, and then all of a sudden the substitution was going to be made, and obviously I just said to a few of my pals, I said, he's going to score. Straight away, I knew straight away.
Have you not said that every time he's been on as a substitute?
Yeah, I thought about it. But then, looking at it, I think there was a time that he was going to get the monkey off his back, and he's managed to do that, so all credit to him on that one, really.
What about you, Frankie?
I was in fitness first on a run.
Of course.
But, well done, he's got it in there. So hopefully I'll go on to better things.
Supporting the Torres camp there.
Yeah,
It's kind of polarised division. What about you?
I was on a grassy knoll in drinking beer.
There's some Cubans.
You had a real JFK moment.
Yes, yeah, I was drinking beer in Little Venice, just around the corner from where we were rehearsing.
See, that is the answer I wanted to give.
It's a rock and roll answer, that's what that
is. As opposed to bathing a 2-year-old, which is my actual answer.
We're not so rock and roll. Nigel, now, you told our producers that since, well, in the last year or so, since you haven't been playing as much, you've actually got a lot fitter. Yeah, which is a strange thing to say.
I know.
Do you think it's a case of you either go one extreme or another? When you're not playing regularly, you either throw yourself into fitness or, you know, you back off and start pursuing other things?
No, it's just, I think, you know, obviously a few things was going to be happening with myself, and I thought I was going to be going abroad to play and waiting for a couple of things. So you do get that mindset of keeping yourself fit. So I was basically, you know, on the end of the phone, really, to my agent, and obviously, you know, wanting to know what was going on, and you wait to find out, but you've got to keep yourself in condition. I think nowadays with footballers as well, they're in peak condition even before pre-season. So for me, waiting around and doing things, you have to be more professional and go about things the right way, and I've managed to do that. But I do feel fitter, and, you know, I've had a personal trainer for the last 5 months as well, keeping me on it. So it's, you know, it has been pushy. It has
With
been
you
hard.
and your agent, how do you keep yourself in the shop window? How do you go about getting yourself a deal?
Well, basically, obviously, they make the phone calls as well, and, you know, obviously there's loads of contacts in football. Obviously, things, you know, materialise. And then there's a database as well, which you know, all these other football clubs around the world, or basically in English leagues, are straight onto it as well. Really, in there, you know, they're up to date with a lot of, you know, players' stats and, you know, their moves and or where they're up for transfer or to be, you know, free transfers as well. So there's a lot of information out there for the players as well. So it's you know, it's all beneficial to everybody really.
Didn't fancy a Michael Owen brochure then?
No, obviously, you know, him being the player that he is, he's been a fantastic player, and you know, there was a lot of talk about him and speculation. So you don't know where he was going to go or not, and obviously, you know, maybe he thought that was a good idea for himself to, you know, make people realise, because he had some injuries as well, but he's managed to come back from that and to play at that level he's played at. It was never going to be a problem for him. I think it was, you know, hard for people to understand why he hasn't got a club, but, you know, obviously he's at a fantastic football club now.
Yeah, and you don't need a brochure anyway when you're on Talk of the Terrace.
Exactly.
Much better than the real thing. Alistair, your allegiance is with Middlesbrough, isn't it?
It is, yes.
And your Mark Viduka song was something that kind of brought you very much into the football fan's eye, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was a song that we sort of threw together for a charity do at Middlesbrough. And as luck would have it, Gareth Southgate, the manager at the time, was there watching. And it went down well with the crowd, but he came up to me at the end of the do and said, "Get me a copy of that." Obviously, it was to the tune of Hallelujah, which is very popular at the time.
Yeah, the Leonard Cohen track. And it features the terrific line, this is your version, not Leonard Cohen's. I tied my dog to the physio's chair with Catamol and Xavier's hair, which is a beautiful sentiment.
Yes.
And the fans sing it? Do they do renditions of it again?
You know, the Borough have got sort of Pig Bag and their host of songs, so it was hard to break into that market, the Terraces.
Just tell me very quickly about the lights, the Christmas lights story, because otherwise it's going to confuse everybody. Because we introduced you by mentioning it. So
right, yeah.
So glad this came up.
That's our idea.
The Whitby needed some new Christmas lights. They weren't going to have any sort of illuminations that year, and my mum put me up as a raffle prize, a date with me. God knows why I'd want that. And yeah,
but they did.
They did, and I went on a date, which was an interesting evening. I can't really say anymore.
How much did you go for? How much did you raise?
Well, they raised enough to fund the lights for about 3 or 4 years, so...
OK, there you go. I'd struggle to get 20 quid, probably, but...
Yeah, I know. I'd be standing there with a candle, a birthday candle on my own.
Lots to chat with you about Frankie in a bit, your love for Birmingham and other things. But at this stage of the season, mathematically, only 4 teams can win the title. Sorry, Bolton fans. And, of course, Man City play later on tonight, while the 3 others were in action over the weekend.
Welcome back to Talk of the Terrace, and the band are going to be performing a little bit later on with Alistair Griffin. Also joining us on the sofa, Nigel Quasi and Frankie Gavin. Now, we know there's more to football than goals, but here are 11 of them in just 3 games, starting at White Hart Lane.
Got a better run, as long as they win their home games, they'll be fine.
Now, we do have a cup-winning goal scorer on the sofa.
We do?
It's not Nigel, it's Alistair. Tell us about it.
I don't like to say too much about it, but yes, I scored the winning goal in it was a Premier League All-Stars thing a couple of years ago, where sort of old pros mixed with celebrities, and I just happened to be in the right place at the right time in the very last minute of the final and scored the winning goal.
Wow, who are you playing with? Who was on your team?
Bernie Slaven, Middlesbrough legend,
Wow.
Mikkel Beck, Craig Hignett, and I think in goal Jim Platt was in goal.
So you scored the winning goal. How did Bernie Slaven react to that?
Well, he was on the far post screaming and shouting at me to pass it to him, but I took Bernie's way and popped it in the net.
Your playing days are over now? Well, not necessarily over. You're qualified as of 2 minutes ago. You're a qualified ref, which is an interesting choice for a rock and roller.
Well, yeah, I was taking a bit of a quiet time out of the game, and I thought I'd have a go at refereeing, and I did 1 or 2 games, one of which was like an under-12s match, which just ended in like the parents invading the pitch. And,
Right.
It's terrible. It's worse than
Why did it? What did you do wrong?
I didn't really do anything. We gave the 2 linesmen were the parents and sort of stroke managers of the team.
Right.
And so every time they went in the opposing player's half, the flag went up. And so I had to take the flags off them because we were getting nowhere. And then I think I played like a minute and a half over time, and they were like there with the stopwatch, Fergie style, you know. And yeah, they take it very seriously.
Yeah.
Are you surprised, having done it, that it's difficult to attract people to be an official? Is it really a tough gig?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I suppose it's strange, you know, you play even like Sunday League football or whatever, and yeah, the ref gets all kinds of abuse. You know, I did I was linesman for a couple of things, and it's amazing how sort of irate people get, you know, it's a Sunday League match.
Nigel, Frankie was talking about...
Halfway through the show, and I think it's going OK, Kel.
All right.
But what I think we really need to raise the tempo, and below this one, through the roof, is a game show. If only we had a tenuous idea and someone wacky enough to pull it off.
I'll do. Now, Nigel, obviously, like me, you're a good-looking guy. And footballers tend to be good-looking, but there are some footballers out there, believe it or not, who aren't the best-looking guys in the world. And mainly due to your surname, it's time to play Quasimodo or Quasimodo.
We're going off this screen.
Yeah.
Right, now, guys, all you need to do, it's just a bit of fun. You can't win anything, I'm afraid, but I'm going to show you a footballer. Soccer Lens, the website, have recently had a poll of their top 10 ugliest footballers. I'll show you someone. You need to tell me whether the next footballer I show you is more ugly or less ugly than the predecessor. So we'll start with you, Nigel. We'll start with Rio Ferdinand, who, apart from his, you know, the nose and the ears and the eyes and the chin, he's quite a good-looking guy. Right, so next up is Luke Chadwick. Now, Nigel, do you think Luke is more attractive or less attractive than Rio?
No way.
You think he's uglier? Right.
Yeah.
What about you, Frankie? More ugly, less ugly?
Uglier.
More ugly? Alistair?
I'd have to agree.
He is more ugly. That's a point each. Well done. Right, next up, it's Big Fat Ronaldo. That's my views. His waist is actually the same circumference as Watford. Little fact there about Ronaldo. Do you think he's more ugly or less ugly?
No.
You think he's more ugly?
No,
less
mate.
ugly, right,
Less ugly.
Frankie?
Less.
Less ugly. Alistair?
I'm beginning to feel sorry for the other guys. More.
He is more ugly. That's right. Unbelievable. I would have gone the other way as well. Right, next up is everyone's favourite, Darren Fletcher. He does look pretty normal. I think he's fairly attractive. He looks very similar to me. Nigel, what do you reckon? More attractive... more ugly, less ugly?
No, I played with Fletch. He's less ugly.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy, isn't he? Right. Weird. Frankie, what about you?
Better looking.
Do you think he's better looking, less ugly?
Less, yeah, definitely.
He's actually voted more ugly than Big Fat Ronaldo. Incredible scenes. Right, here we go. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why the long face, Rude? Just a... That's good, thanks. Sympathy, love. So, do you think Rude is more or less ugly than Darren Fletcher? This is the last one.
More.
More ugly than... Really? Frankie, what do you think?
Less.
You think he's less? And Alistair?
It's a very unflattering picture of it. But yeah, he's more ugly.
Actually less ugly. He came 10th, so he's the best of a bad bunch. The most ugly was Wayne Rooney, which I think is controversial. That was Quasimodo or Quasimodo.
Hello, welcome back to Talk of the Terrace. You can hear more from the band. They'll be playing us out with Alistair Griffin a bit later on. Also on the sofa with us tonight, Nigel Quasi and Frankie Gavin.
Time for more...
Time now to build the tension. It's the quiz. Not only that, this is what you're playing for. Wow. Never mind the FA Cup, this is the Cup of Dreams, the ESPN Cup of Dreams, and our very important quiz prize. Who wouldn't want that?
Very important. Let's dim the lights then. Nigel, you're first up. Give it up for Nigel Quasi, everybody. Nigel, you've chosen a subject, I guess, dear to your heart, Portsmouth's promotion in 2002 to 2003. 60 seconds on the clock.
This is the subject that Linvoy Primus chose a little while ago. He got 8 points and won the week, so no pressure.
No pressure whatsoever. I hope you haven't been cribbing off him. Let's get going. Portsmouth gained promotion in their last home game of the season. Who was it against?
Bradford.
Rotherham United. Which player scored 2 goals in that game against Rotherham? Todorov. It was Todorov. Portsmouth finished as champions of Division 1, but which side finished second?
Leicester.
Correct. Which player won the Fans Player of the Year award?
Ariane Dezu.
Linvoy Primus. How many games did Portsmouth lose in the league that season?
Was it 5?
6. There were only 3 teams in the league that Portsmouth didn't beat that season. Can you name one?
Leicester.
Correct. Which player finished top scorer for Portsmouth?
Yakubu.
It was Todorov. How many goals did he score in the league that season? 26, 36 or 46?
26.
It was. Which player was on loan from Juventus that season?
Was it... No.
I have to get an answer, Nigel. It was Vincent Perricard, or Vincent Perricard. Come back, Nigel. Close but no cigar, I'm afraid.
Keep the applause going for Frankie, your chosen subject is your mate, Craig Gardner. It's like a version of Mr. and Mr. First question starts now. How old is Craig Gardner?
24.
Yes. What number shirt does he currently wear?
8.
Yes. Who was his last goal against?
West Ham.
Sunderland. Craig was red-carded in the Premier League this season in a 0-0 draw against...
Wigan.
Yes. What month was Craig born in?
Is it November?
Yes. How many goals has Craig scored this season in all competitions? 6,
9.
9 is right. His senior debut was for Aston Villa against Everton in December of which year?
2006.
2005. Against which current championship club did Craig score his first senior goal in April? Sorry?
Middlesbrough.
Yeah, that's right. Craig was replaced by which player after 79 minutes?
Kevin Phillips.
Yes. What number did Craig initially wear for Birmingham when he joined them last year? 11, 22 or 33?
33.
Yes. Has Craig scored more goals in all competitions for Birmingham or for Villa in his career?
Birmingham.
Yes. Craig scored 2 goals in a match for the first time in his career this season. Against who?
Was it Bolton?
Blackburn, but 9 points. Well done. Well done, Craig. Well done, Frankie.
Let's keep that applause going for our third contestant, Alistair Griffin.
From Craig.
Multitasking indeed.
Craig's
Doing the quiz and then going to play a number in a minute. Alistair, you've chosen your old playing partner, Bernie Slaven.
Yes.
Your old strike buddy. 60 seconds on the clock, 9 to beat. Let's get going. How old is Bernie Slaven?
50.
He is. How much did Bernie join Middlesbrough for from Albion Rovers?
25,000.
Correct. Bernie played in the 1990 Full Members' Cup final against which side?
Pass.
It was Chelsea. Which manager signed Bernie for Middlesbrough?
Willie Madron.
Correct. How did Bernie often celebrate his goals at Ayresome Park?
He jumped on the Holgate end.
Correct. How many managers did Bernie play under at Borough?
5.
4. As well as Willie Madron, can you name one of the other 3?
Bruce Rioch.
Correct. Bernie played and scored in the 93 Football League Trophy Final for which side?
Port Vale.
Yep. How many caps did Bernie win for the Republic of Ireland?
7.
Yep. Which year was Bernie voted the supporters, Middlesbrough's and the North Eastern Player of the Year?
89.
1989 is the correct answer. Which player wore number 10 and joined Walsall at the end of the season?
What?
Which player wore number 10 and joined Walsall at the end of the season?
Yes.
Here he gets time to answer.
You do have time.
Paul Wilkins.
Paul Merson.
Oh, just misses
close
out.
but no cigar.
Alistair, stay there because you're going to be singing for a little bit later. Here's your mug, Frankie.
Wow.
Well done.
Give it up.
Congratulations.
Thanks, Fantastic stuff.
First that, then the WBO Intercontinental Belt. I think that's the way forward.
Absolutely right.
I don't think I win a box anymore.
No, I think you're right. That's all you need to achieve.
Yeah.
Thank you very much to Nigel Quasi and to Frankie Gavin for joining us. Now, playing us out with his brand new single, Just Drive, from the Albion Sky, it is the terrific Alistair Griffin.
There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. But for one last time, I take this ride. and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the line. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one, or right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. Breathing out or breathing in. Broken down, but I will live to fight again for one last time. I'll take this ride and just drive. I wanna be the only one to make it to the line. I'll take it to the edge where I died 1,000 times. Or maybe I could be the one, or right into the setting sun tonight. Just drive. There's a star that lights the road. Will it take me to the end? Well, I don't know. I wanna